Dear students, in the subject Financial Management, we have 5 different modules. In the second module, we have a chapter which is named as Inventory Management. So today we are going to discuss the chapter Inventory Management. In this chapter, we can divide into 2 sessions. First session contains all about inventory, and the second section contains all about inventory management. The first section, inventory, includes meaning of inventory, then motives for holding inventory, then risk and cost which is associated with inventory. And the second section contains inventory management, the meaning of inventory management, objectives of inventory management, and techniques of inventory management. There are different techniques included in the techniques of inventory management, and this is a long essay which is usually asked for university exams. So we'll begin the chapter Inventory Management. So what do you mean by inventory? We'll discuss that first. The term inventory means raw material, work in progress, finished goods, stores and spares which are unsold on a particular date is termed as inventory. I'll repeat once again. The term inventory means raw material, work in progress, finished goods, stores and spares which are unsold on a particular date. The term unsold is very important. In financial management, it is the value locked up in any of these 3 forms is termed as inventory. In the case of the inventory may be different for manufacturing concern and for trading concern. In the case of a manufacturing concern, the companies will purchase raw material, they may get into the process of manufacturing, and finally they will manufacture a finished product. So in the case of a manufacturing concern, they will have these 3 kinds, or spares and stores also included. These 4 type of inventory will be there in the manufacturing concern. But in the case of a trading concern, only those items which are purchased by the organization for the sale purposes. So only one item of inventory, that is finished good, only will be there in the case of trading concern. That means inventory, the list of inventories may be different for manufacturing concern and for trading concern. This is the meaning of inventory. The meaning of inventory, I will repeat once again. The term inventory means raw material, work in progress, finished goods, and stores and spares which are unsold or locked up in the organization on a particular date is termed as inventory. So in detail we'll study what is raw material, what is work in progress, what is finished good, and what is stores and spares. We'll discuss in detail. So these are the 4 items included in the term inventory: raw material, work in progress, finished goods, stores and spares. What do we mean by raw material? Raw material is the basic input for the production process. The basic input for the production process. That means items which is purchased by the organization for the manufacturing process is termed as raw material. So we can take the example in the case of a construction company. In the case of a construction company, cement, iron, bricks, etc. will be the raw material for the construction company. So this is an input which is purchased by the organization for the manufacturing process. The regular supply of raw material is necessary for the organization because if there is any inadequacy in the item of raw material, definitely will affect the production process. Okay. The second item is work in progress. Work in progress means items which are not in the form of raw material and not in the form of finished goods. So it is a semi-finished stage of product. Few more days will take to become the finished good. Okay. So if the length of operating cycle, we already studied operating cycle, the length of operating cycle and the calculation of operating cycle in working capital management chapter. So if the length of operating cycle is more, then the investment in work in progress inventory will be high. Once again I will repeat, if the operating cycle length is more, then the work in progress inventory investment will be also high, because most of the items will be locked up in work in progress for more days. The third item is finished goods. Finished goods is the final product of the manufacturing company, and this manufacturing company will sell these finished goods in the market on future date. So the next item is stores and spares. Stores and spares are the spare parts which is used by the manufacturing company to facilitate production process, or which are the items which supports production process run smoothly. For example, light, bulb, then fuel, coal, brooms, etc. are the example for stores and spares. So all these items, all these 4 items come under the head of inventory. One more thing need to add, the raw material for one item may be the finished good of other item. I will explain once again. The raw material for one item will be the finished good of other item. For example, for a cement manufacturing company, in the case of a cement manufacturing company, the packed cement is a finished good of cement manufacturing company. But in the case of a construction company, cement is a raw material. So that's why I said raw material for one company may not be the raw material for the other. It may be a finished good for the other companies. So these are all about inventories. Inventory include raw material, work in progress, finished good, stores and spares. So next we'll move to the topic benefits or motives for holding inventory. For holding inventory. Motives for holding cash we already discussed in cash management, and in the same also we will discuss in the inventory also. First motive, transaction motive. The second motive is precautionary. And the third motive is speculative motive. These are the 3 different motives: transaction, precautionary and speculative. These 3 motives are there for cash management also. So the transaction motive. First we will discuss the transaction motive. The basic purpose of holding inventory in the organization is to carry out the production and selling process in an uninterrupted way. For making a regular flow of production process and selling process, the organization should maintain a minimum level of inventory in the organization for the uninterrupted supply of production or selling process. That is transaction motive. So every organization should maintain a minimum level of inventory in their organization for uninterrupted transaction. And the second one is precautionary motive. In our personal life also we always keep a minimum amount, maybe rupees 100 or 500 in our handbag as a precaution, because uncertainty will happen in our life. at the time of uncertainty, we will use this precautionary amount 100 rupees or 500 rupees. So, in business also, the nature of business is uncertain. At the time of uncertainty, like strike, lockdown or seasonal changes in seasonal demand, the organization should take few inventory as emergency. So, all the organization should keep a fixed amount of inventory, fixed quantity of inventory as a precaution in the organization. That is precautionary motive. The third one is speculative motive. In addition to precautionary and transaction motive, firm may be tempted to keep some inventory to get the benefit of price fluctuation. There may be price fluctuation in raw material, in finished good and any other spares and stores. For controlling the speculative transactions, all the organization should maintain a fixed amount of inventory in speculative motive way. So, these are the three different motives for holding inventory as well as holding cash: transaction motive, precautionary motive and speculative motive. Especially shortage of inventory. What will happen if there is insufficient inventory in an organization? If there is insufficient inventory in an organization, definitely it will affect the production process. What will happen if there is excess inventory in the organization? What will happen? If there is excess inventory in the organization, definitely the excess quantity will become more wastage. So, the organization should maintain a fixed level of inventory on the four different motives. First one is transaction motive, then precautionary motive and speculative motive. These are the three different motives. And the next heading is risk cost of holding inventory. Risk cost of holding inventory. The organization have to face or few kinds of risk and spend few amount for maintaining the inventory or holding inventory. There are four different costs. They are ordering cost, then carrying cost, shortage cost and material cost. There are four different costs and risk which is associated with inventory: ordering cost, carrying cost, shortage cost and material cost. These are the four different costs. First one is ordering cost. It is the cost of acquisition of product from a supplier, or the cost which is spent by the organization for making an order to the supplier of raw material. This may include telephone charge, mailing charge, internet charge, then stationery charge. All these are examples for ordering cost. And one more thing to be noted, that these costs are fixed irrespective of size of the order. The size of the order may be bulk or low, but the bulk quantity or low quantity of order will not affect the ordering cost. Only the number of orders which is placed in a year will affect the ordering cost. If number of order is more and more, then the ordering cost also will be high. If the number of orders placed in a year is less and less, then the ordering cost also will be very less. The second cost is carrying cost. It is also known as holding cost. The carrying cost or holding cost is the cost which is spent by the organization for keeping the inventory at firm's warehouse, or cost spent by the organization for maintaining or holding the purchased inventory or work in progress inventory or finished goods inventory in the organization is termed as carrying cost. They need to keep, apart from all the theft or spoilage or obsolescence. So they usually spend warehouse rent, insurance rent, etc. for the security of all these inventories. And the third type of cost is shortage cost. It is the cost of being out of stock It is the loss of profit due to shortage of inventory. What will happen if there is insufficiency of inventory? If inventory is not sufficient, then in the case of raw material, what will happen? If there is no sufficient inventory in the organization, definitely the production process may get into trouble. If there is insufficiency in finished goods, then the selling process or marketing process of the organization will get into trouble. That cost is termed as shortage cost. And the fourth cost is the main cost, which is spent in bulk by the organization, that is material cost. Material cost is the value given by the organization for the purchase of material. Material, cost of purchasing or manufacturing the material. Let us take an example of two different firms. We can discuss the example of hotel business and jewelry business. In the case of hotel business, the hotel business person need to purchase the raw material, and the raw material for them is usually vegetables, fruits and groceries. The value of these items are very less when we are compared with the other items. So for hotel business person, the material cost will be very less. And in the case of a jewelry shop, what will be the material cost of them? In the case of a jewelry owner, the raw material for the jewelry making is diamond, then gold, other precious stones are the raw material for the jewelry paper. So they need to spend more material cost for the purchase of their raw material. So that is all about material cost, and material cost is the huge amount which is spent by the organization when we are compared with ordering cost, carrying cost and shortage cost. So these are the four different costs, risk and costs of holding inventory. So that's all about our inventory section. That we concluded the inventory section, first session. Now we are moving to the next session, that is inventory management. The first item in that is meaning of inventory management. Inventory management may be defined as the process of planning, organizing, directing and controlling of inventory for the maintenance of an optimum level of inventory management, or it is a trade-off between profitability and liquidity. It is a trade-off between profitability and liquidity. The main objective of inventory management is to avoid overstocking and understocking. We already discussed the issues which is associated with overstocking and understocking of inventory. After proper inventory management, the organization will get answers to few questions. They are: what to purchase, then how much to order, at what quantity to order, when to place an order and from where to make purchase. After proper inventory management, the organization will get answers for all these main four questions. The second and third decisions are very important. The organization can make a proper decision after getting answer for these two, that is how much to order, at what quantity they should order, or when to place an order, at what time they should make an order to the supplier. That is inventory management. Inventory management may be defined as the process of planning, organizing, directing and controlling of inventory for the maintenance of an optimum level of inventory. Okay. Then the next heading is objectives of inventory management. Different objectives for inventory management. First one is shareholders' wealth maximization. First one is shareholders' wealth maximization. Second one is maintenance of optimum inventory level. Maintenance of optimum inventory level. And the third one is operational objective. And the fourth one is financial and the fifth one is other objectives. So these are the 5 objectives of inventory management. So we'll discuss the first point, that is shareholders' wealth maximization. There are different departments for the organization. A company contains purchase department, sales department, then marketing department, production department, and each of these departments have their own individual objective. To illustrate that, we can say for the purchase department, the main objective of purchase department will be economies of scale, and the main objective of marketing department will be market all the finished product. So different departments have their own different objectives, but the main point is that it is not the duty of the finance department to associate with all these objectives. The duty of the finance department is to optimize the investment in inventory by reconciling the conflicting needs of different departments through proper inventory management. The most important objective of a finance manager is to make shareholders' wealth maximization. That is about shareholders' wealth maximization. And the second objective of inventory management is maintenance of optimum level of inventory. Maintenance of optimum level of inventory. This objective is used by the organization in order to avoiding excessive inventory and inadequate inventory. In order to avoid excessive inventory and inadequate inventory. What will happen if there is excess inventory? If there is excess inventory, the wastage or spoilage will be high, or the carrying cost and ordering cost also will be high in the case of excessive inventory. And in the case of inadequacy of inventory, what will happen? The entire production process or supply of the organization will be affected or get into damage. So the organization should find out the optimum inventory level for the proper maintenance of inventory management. That is the second objective. And the third objective is operational objective. Operational objective simply means that the production and the selling process should not be disturbed. The production process and the selling process should not be disturbed. The main two operation of an organization is, one is production and the other one is selling. So if there is no proper inventory management, the production and selling process not get into trouble. If the production process or selling process is getting into a trouble situation, the entire company will be getting to lockdown situation. So that is the operational objective of inventory management. Then the fourth objective, that is financial objective. It simply means the investment in inventory should not remain idle. In other words, we can say there should not be unnecessary locking up of working capital on investment. To avoid unnecessary locking of working capital in inventory. We need to satisfy the financial objective, and the other objective include material should be used in a proper way for avoiding wastage, then maintenance of economic order quantity EOQ and avoid duplication. Then to fix accountability, we need to maintain proper inventory management. So these are the five different objectives of inventory management. They are shareholders wealth maximization, maintenance of optimum level of inventory, then operational objective, financial objective and other different objectives. So we'll move to the next heading, that is techniques of inventory management. There are 11 important techniques for inventory management, but the organization don't want to select all these techniques at the same time. They may select a technique according to their convenience. There are different techniques, so they can select according to their convenience. It may be determination of economic ordering quantity or just-in-time system. Otherwise, they can use ABC analysis, then VED analysis. There are different techniques. And in the beginning session, I already said that this is a long essay question which is usually used to ask in university exams. And also there are few problems in this section. So we will discuss all these techniques one by one. The first one is economic ordering quantity or reorder quantity. Economic ordering quantity refers to the lot size of inventory that is most economical to procure and hold. Economic ordering quantity is the quantity of size of inventory that is most economical to procure and to hold, or otherwise we can say it is the trade-off between carrying cost and ordering cost. It is the trade-off between carrying cost and ordering cost. We already studied carrying cost and ordering cost in this chapter itself. What is ordering cost? Ordering cost is the cost spent by the organization in order to make an order to the supplier. Telegram charge, telephone charge, internet charge, then stationery charge, etc. are the ordering cost. And carrying cost. What is carrying cost? Carrying cost or holding cost is this cost spent by the organization in order to maintain the inventory in the organization. So economic ordering quantity EOQ is the trade-off between carrying cost and ordering cost. Techniques of inventory management. There are 11 different techniques, and first one is EOQ, economic ordering quantity. EOQ is a trade-off between carrying cost and ordering cost. At this point, the total cost of holding the inventory will be lowest. In this point, the total cost of holding inventory will be lowest. Further, the total carrying cost and total ordering cost will be equal. For example, after the calculation of EOQ with the equation, suppose the company got 200 units. The EOQ is 200 unit. So after getting this unit level, every time the organization should try to purchase 200 unit of material. If they purchase from that time onwards this 200 unit, what they will get? total cost in the lowest level, carrying cost and ordering cost will be equal. So there is one equation for the calculation of EOQ, that is EOQ is equal to root 2 AO divided by C. This is the equation for the calculation of EOQ. A denotes annual consumption, O is ordering cost and C is carrying cost. There are a few problems which is associated with the calculation of economic ordering quantity. When we are calculating the EOQ, directly they will give annual consumption, ordering cost and carrying cost in the question paper. So we will discuss the problem which is associated with EOQ in the next class. The next heading, before that there is a diagram. What is EOQ? This is the x-axis, y-axis, and this is cost, then units, this line is, the line denotes carrying cost, then this line denotes ordering cost, and this is, suppose this is total cost. This is to graphically represent the economic ordering quantity. We already discussed that economic ordering quantity is the trade-off between carrying cost and ordering cost. In this point, ordering cost and carrying cost will be equal. So this is the EOQ level, and this line goes up to this total cost. The total cost also will be, see, it will be very less in this point. So this is the EOQ quantity, economic ordering quantity for this organization. This is the EOQ line. So in this line, ordering cost and carrying cost will be equal and total cost will be lowest. This is the diagram which graphically represents the EOQ. So that is the first technique of inventory management, determination of economic ordering quantity, and the equation for that is root 2AO divided by C. A stands for annual consumption, C for carrying cost, and O for ordering cost. And the next technique in the organization of inventory management, that is determination of stock level. There are different stock levels in an organization. In every organization, they need to calculate all these different level of stock levels for the uninterrupted distribution and supply of production process and selling process. These level include, first is minimum level, minimum stock level, then maximum stock level, reorder level, then average level and danger level. These 5 levels are very important and it individually contain an equation for the calculation purposes. Minimum stock level, maximum stock level, reorder level, average level, and finally danger level. These are the 5 different levels. So maintenance of large quantity of inventory leads to huge investment in inventory and stock. So carrying cost and ordering cost also will be very high. In order to avoid this high carrying cost and ordering cost, each and every organization should identify these 5 individual stock level. The first one is minimum stock level. It is that level below which the inventory of an item should not be allowed to fall. That means it is the minimum level of quantity that should be kept in an organization. The fixation of minimum level should consider few factors. The main and first factor before we are fixing the minimum stock level is lead time. Are you all heard about lead time? Lead time is the time lag between placing an order and getting the supply of fresh products in the organization. That means lead time is the time lag between making an order from the organization to the supplier and getting the order in the supplier's hand, and supplier issues or produce the goods according to our order in our organization. The time gap between these two is termed as lead time. So before we are fixing the minimum stock level, we need to consider the lead time of the raw material. Then the minimum level of stock will avoid unnecessary delay in the production due to shortage of material. If there is shortage of material or less than, if the inventory level is less than the minimum stock level, definitely it will affect the production process. And for the calculation of minimum level, we can use the equation reorder level minus normal consumption into normal reorder period. That is the equation which is used for the calculation of minimum stock level. And the second stock level is maximum stock level. So what do you mean by maximum stock level? It is the stock level of above which the stock should not be allowed to rise. That means it is the maximum level or maximum quantity of inventory or material that an organization can maintain. Apart from this level is considered as excess inventory. So up to this level they can store in their warehouse. It is fixed to avoid overstocking. This maximum stock level will help to avoid overstocking or unnecessary issue of finance for the inventory. And it also helps to avoid obsolescence, spoilage, wastage, etc. And the maximum level of inventory we can calculate with the equation reorder level plus reorder quantity minus minimum consumption into minimum reorder period. This is the equation used for the calculation of maximum stock level. So we discussed minimum stock level and maximum stock level. And the third level of stock is reorder level. This is the level or order that we can make. That means it refers to the level of inventory at which the firm should place a fresh order for the replenishment of inventory. Reorder level should be fixed in between maximum stock level and minimum stock level. So it should be noted that reorder level is fixed between maximum stock level and minimum stock level. We already studied what is maximum stock level and minimum stock level. The reorder level is between the maximum level and minimum level, and the reorder level is the level. If we marked a level as reorder level, in this level, when the material reaches the reorder level, the organization should make an order for the purchase of material to the supplier. And reorder level we can calculate with the equation maximum consumption into maximum reorder period, that is reorder level. And the fourth level of inventory is average level. That means it is the estimation of average inventory that the firm should maintain. It is also the average of maximum stock level and minimum stock level. The stock levels do not stay at minimum level or maximum level. So the average level of stock we can calculate with the equation maximum level plus minimum level divided by 2. In all the cases we will use division of 2 in the case for the calculation of average level. And the last level of inventory is danger level. It is generally determined below the minimum level. So it should be noted that the danger level is below the minimum level. The minimum level is itself is lowest level, and below minimum level is termed as danger level. So the situation is very danger for the organization, where at this, if the inventory goes into danger level, where the immediate steps are taken for the replenishment of or the repurchase of material. The item should be noted is that if the product or material is in danger level, an immediate action should be taken for the purchase of raw material. After reaching this level, there will not be any normal issue of material, and the production process, running, selling process, everything will be stopped because the material is reached into danger level. So any of the organization may not issue or may not get into trouble with this danger level, and we can calculate the danger level with the equation normal consumption into lead time for emergency purchase. We already discussed the lead time. What is lead time? The time gap between making an order and getting the fresh supply. So this is lead time for emergency purchase. The lead time for normal purchase and lead time for emergency purchase will be different. So the firm should consider the lead time for emergency purchase in the case of danger level. So these are the 5 different stock levels which is associated with the determination of stock level. First one is minimum stock level, maximum stock level, then reorder level, average stock level and danger level. These are the 5 different levels. So we will take an example for the easy analysis of minimum stock level, maximum stock level and the determination of stock level. This is a barrel which is fully fuel. It may be a petrol, maybe petrol or diesel for the production process. Anything. It is a barrel which is fully with petrol, diesel or fuel, any kind of fuel. So in this barrel we can decide this is the maximum level of fuel should be maintained in an organization. This is the maximum level of. Out of this level, the storage of fuel out of this level is excess quantity of inventory. So this is the maximum level of fuel that a firm should maintain, and we can fix this is the minimum level of fuel that should kept in an organization. Minimum level and maximum level both will be marked. And the next level is reorder level. Reorder level, average level and danger level. Reorder level, average level and danger level. Average level is between maximum level and minimum level. It is exactly in between maximum level and minimum level. In the equation of average level, we said maximum level plus minimum level divided by 2. So it is exactly in between maximum level and minimum level, that is average stock level. That is average stock level. And two more levels are there. One is reorder level. If the stock level in the organization or inventory level in the organization goes below the average stock level, but it is exactly above the minimum level, at that point, if the fuel in this barrel is up to this level, the company should make new order for the purchase. So this is the reorder level. In this point, the organization should make an order for the supply of fuel, any of the fuel. Then this is the danger level. So we already said that danger level is the dangerous situation of all, because the inventory quantity goes below the minimum level. The inventory quantity already gone beyond the minimum level. If the inventory reaches or fuel reaches this level in this barrel, the company should make an emergency purchase order. Emergency purchase order they need to make. So this is the barrel level, different barrel levels: maximum stock level, minimum stock level, average stock level, reorder level and danger level. And few problems also which is associated with this determinants of stock level that we discussed in the next class. So there are different techniques. I already said 11 techniques for inventory management are there. We studied only 2 and 9 more techniques are left in this chapter. We'll discuss all those 9 techniques along with the problems in the next chapter, in the next session. So before we are winding up the session, we'll discuss what we studied in the class. First we studied what do we mean by inventory. The term inventory denotes raw material, work in progress, finished goods, stores and spares which are unsold on a particular date is termed as inventory. The main thing is that all these items which is unsold on a particular date is termed as inventory. Then the inventory of the raw material of one organization may not be the raw material for other organization. I already said an example for that. Once again I will repeat the example, that the cement, in the case of a cement is a finished good for cement manufacturing company, but that is a finished good for cement manufacturing company. But for a construction company, in the case of a construction company, cement is a raw material along with other raw materials like bricks, iron, steel, wood, etc. So raw material of one organization may not be the raw material for other organization, and the length of operating cycle also will affect the inventory. Then trading concern and manufacturing concern, list of inventories will be more for manufacturing concern, and in the case of a trading concern, only one item will be there as their inventory, that is finished goods which are purchased by the trading concern from any of their supplier. Then we discussed motives for holding cash. 3 different motives are there: transaction motive, speculative motive and precautionary motive. And these motives are same for cash management also. We discussed in that chapter. Then risk and costs of holding inventory. 4 different costs are there: ordering cost, carrying cost, shortage cost and material cost. All these 4 are different cost or risk with inventory. Ordering cost is the cost spent by the organization for making an order or for the acquisition of material. Then carrying cost is the holding cost. This is also known as holding cost, and carrying cost is the cost spent by the organization for maintaining all these inventories. Then shortage cost, that is being out of stock. Then material cost, it is the cost of material. Exactly, it is the cost of material which is purchased. Then meaning of inventory management. Inventory session we already completed, and this next it was inventory management in the second session. Inventory management may be defined as the process of planning, organizing, directing and controlling of inventory for the proper maintenance of optimum inventory level. For the proper maintenance of optimum inventory level, after considering the inventory management or for proper inventory management, the entire business concern will get answers for 4 different questions. They are: what to purchase, what quantity they should order, when to place an order and from where to purchase all these materials. They will get answers for all these 4 questions. Then objectives of inventory management. There are 5 different objectives for inventory management. First objective is wealth maximization of shareholders. The second objective is maintenance of optimum level of inventory. Then operational objective, financial objective, and there are few other objectives also. Then the last heading we discussed is techniques of inventory management. Not only we discussed in this chapter also, that is the end session, technique of inventory management, but it is too lengthy. It includes 11 different techniques, and the first 2 techniques we discussed in this session, that is determination of economic ordering quantity. This is the most approximate quantity that can make an order by the organization. Refers to the lot size of inventory. In this level, total cost will be very less and ordering cost and carrying cost will be equal. For the identification of EOQ, we can use an equation root 2AO divided by C. And there is a diagram which graphically represents the economic ordering quantity. And the last area we discussed is determination of different stock level: minimum stock level, maximum stock level, reorder level, average level and danger level. These are the 5 different levels we discussed with the barrel example, fuel barrel example. The item or inventory level that an organization can maintain maximum is maximum level, and the minimum quantity of item is minimum level. Then it is exactly between average stock level is exactly between maximum level and minimum level. Then reorder level, that exists between average stock level and minimum level. At that point, when the stock or inventory reaches that level, reorder level, we can mark in a barrel or in store. If the inventory reaches the reorder level, the organization should make an order for the supply of material. And the last one is danger level. Danger level is the level below the minimum level. As the name indicates, it is very dangerous situation for the organization. If the product reaches the danger level, then the entire production process will be into lockdown situation. So these are the 5 different levels. The other techniques of inventory management will discuss along with the problem in next classes. So we'll wind up the class today. Thank you.